Well, so, I can tell you that, you know, I took the high ground to basically hold true to my word as far as with Chase Scott when we went through the executive session and the whole thing was presented as far as with missing the fact that Che had the same number of absences as I stated when I rescinded my motion on last Tuesday or last Tuesday, is that Che had missed the same amount of meetings that we had basically called upon on one of the other board members to seek for removal. And I basically just gave it, you know, just was 100% honest and point blank with them to say I was the same guy that brought him to this table to recommend him for that position. So I felt that it was my position, my duty to basically give him the bad news of saying you violated the bylaws, and I explained to him very clearly that I'm not going to take any action, obviously, at this point in time because of all the scenarios that we had of trying to get this cleared up. But I asked him, you know, that he do the right thing based on what his moral beliefs, where his public standing and where his service for the county stands as far as violating those bylaws. And I can tell you that I was, you know, pretty humbled with the fact that he took that you know, serious and was accountable to the board, to the county, and to the people that he serves, and he resigned his position, and it was just refreshing to see that there was somebody that was willing and able to take that level of responsibility and accountability for his actions like he did. And I would just hope that after I reviewed the letter that he even, you know, had stated to the other ones that it would be nice if instead of them trying to get into this legal mess of everybody always wanting to be right, and I get that that's the way our world is today, but that you know, hopefully he sent a nice message to them also saying do the right thing, because I was really privileged to be able to have a person that I recommended to the board that was honorable enough and accountable enough to do the right thing and step down. So,
well, and if you don't mind, let me comment on it real quick. First of all, depending on how you calculate a year, he may or may not have been in violation.
So that's the whole question right there.
So,
what's a year?
And so, but in one individual's case, there's no question. There's a violation. Now, this is the reason, this is why this is so important. The Mental Health Board is dealing with a very vulnerable population. And their decisions, their judgment on everything that they do comes into question when they can't get this little thing right. They have a number of little things, and I pointed out some other issues that they have to the board. And I said, look, the public is looking to you to demonstrate good judgment. If you can't get this one little thing right, then what is that calls into question everything else you do. It is important we get people on the board who are responsible, that take everything seriously, because you're dealing with the mentally ill, and you want to make sure that your decisions and the things that you decide are taking care of this vulnerable population. We can't afford not to do our duties to ensure that that board is responsible and doing the right thing. And so in Che's case, I know, because I've gotten calls from various board members, some of them have been very discouraged over the last year or so, because they go to the meetings and they're seeing things that they question and they're not being heard, and you know, there's other things going on. So, you know, I can understand the dynamics that happen on a board and some of the challenges that you run into when you have multiple people. There's 14 board members. We pick 6, the state picks, and both of the appointing authorities, both the state and the county, we have a responsibility and a duty to make sure that that board is functioning properly. That's the reason the law was created, to allow us to correct the situation if it's not. And so, with all that said,
we pick 8, and they